Chair calls the Greenwood Consolidated School District special call meeting to order. Let us please pause for a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Chair will entertain a motion to accept the agenda. I'm sorry, to approve the agenda. It has been moved and second. All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, good afternoon. Board members, before we begin, you received a cup from the Mississippi School Board of Association celebrating 50 years of supporting school boards, and also a certificate that reads, "Thank you for being a member of the Mississippi School Boards Association. We are here for you." Board members, superintendents, and administrative assistants, we hope you enjoy board members this gift as a token of our gratitude for all you do. We have approval of Memorandum of Understanding, Delta Health Alliance, the Leflore Promise Neighborhood Grant. The Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District is requesting permission to partner with the Delta Health Alliance in its efforts to obtain a Promised Neighborhood grant for Leflore County. Board members, as we met with the grant writer and Mrs. Willis on last Friday, some of the changes, there have been some changes made. If you will look on page 4, you'll notice that the amounts that were previously requested have decreased. Initially, they were asking that we match over $15 million. That amount has decreased to $13 million. Initially, they were asking, the letter included the usage of Title I funds, and we had Mr. Johnson there, who gave reason as to why we should change that language and just include the word funds. And Mr. Johnson, do you want to explain why? And I'll continue for the next change as we move forward.
The only thing is just to make sure that we exhaust the matching funds for Title I, so instead of just limiting to Title I federal funds, it's federal funds in general, different types of funds.
The next change is on page 9 in the Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District section. And I'll start where it says over the 5-year period. Again, that number is $13 million in matching from federal funds. It was over $15 million previously in matching from Title I funds. We did ask that the next sentence be included about the usage and expending of district funds. These funds will be determined by the district and approved, we know, by the school board. We did come to a compromise on some of the programs. We elected to continue to ask the DHA to support our early childhood program. So they do commit, are committing to support the GLCSD's early childhood education program. They also have a life skills program, and the Greenwood Leflore Youth Council will work with us in conjunction to expanding our superintendent's advisory council. We have a council of K through 11th grade students and a senior advisory council. We also have a teacher/stakeholder council, and we have a parent council. They're also committing to supporting us in the area of professional development, and that is providing supports through funds for us. They have they have their CARES mentoring program, and we will work with them to assist with that, and their Catch PE program. And they will also support our college prep program. And we talked about a fatherhood engagement program, working together to come up with a way to increase the interactions or participation or presence of fathers in education. And we both talked about enhancing or increasing or working to increase parental involvement within the district. And we talked about ways that we could do that. And the last addition or change can be found on page 13. See the severability provision. The last sentence, well, the entire part, but the last sentence was important to us. If any party wishes to cease being a party, they will notify the other party in writing of their intention to exit from the MOU, providing 30 days notice, and the party will fulfill any obligations committed until the time of exit, which includes the ceasing of committed funds. So those are the changes. And at this time, board, I do feel comfortable in moving forward, so I present it to you and make a recommendation.
Madam President, may I make a statement? Dr. Brown, I just want to thank you for your leadership as well as the efforts of your staff in being very thorough with this, and again, putting the district's best interest as well as the students in the district, their best interest at heart first. So thank you for doing so.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So I noticed there was a count of 16 benefactors.
Yes, ma'am.
8 were in county and 8 were out of county. Are you sure about this information?
Yes, ma'am. The funds that are coming into the schools, we still decide how those are going to be used as well. So we are receiving the $1 million per year. That's in addition to what we're matching. And so we're able to utilize that for some of the individuals in this particular county.
Just for the record, Dr. Brown, can you operationally define matching?
So basically, we're just putting up the money in order to get the money. You know, we have basically in the beginning was putting up half in order to match the other half that would total out that $30 million. And so what we learned or what was explained to us from the grant writer as well, the money that the GLCSD will put up front is actually, it will be used for what it's going to be used for in our district. So we're not losing any money, any of the $13 million that we're putting up front, or that we're saying or stating that we commit to using for this particular program. But in actuality, we're utilizing the money to support the district. I hope that helped. Mr. Johnson may help me on that one because he's more familiar.
Basically, all it is that you're required to manage, but the way that everybody explained, we're not required to manage a specific area to do a specific activity. Everything that they normally does fall under our current federal program plan, so we can continue to spend the money as we normally would spend. We would just have to know that 2.7 of debt that we normally spend is already met for this particular program. We just couldn't do it. We ain't had to decide to do it. We just know that those are already met because of these.
Okay, I'm just, trying to make sure this won't put us in a financial bind.
No, ma'am, and that's the one thing that we wanted to make sure that the district was not committing to something that it would not benefit in the long run the school district. And that is why we requested that it would be put in writing that the usage of these funds would be dictated by the district.
Madam President, let me make a statement. So speaking to what Dr. Moore pointed out in regards to the I'll say participants or those entities that have agreed to participate in this, and I know this is not something on the district. It is my concern, primarily looking at the Leland Medical Clinic. With us being in Leflore County, I'm certain that we have some medical professionals or organizations that could provide medical services. But again, I know we don't necessarily dictate that. But when we're talking about a promised community and we're talking about Leflore County, I would think that those funds would be spent in Leflore County. So I just want to be on the record to say that that is a concern of mine, but I do understand that that's not something that's within the district's control.
And also, we have Mrs. Margaret Cotton here. She represents the Delta Health Alliance, who may be able to answer or respond to some of our questions as well, if you don't mind.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining. So my only question is, and I know the other representative, she did a great job at answering a lot of our questions, I think last week or the week before. In regards to the Leland Medical Clinic, if we're talking about a promised community in Leflore County, Leland is in Washington County. And considering that we have a host of medical professionals or entities here that could potentially provide the services, is there any likelihood that those monies that would be expended on this company for their services could be transferred, or an organization here could be charged with providing those services if we're trying to keep those funds within Leflore County?
Yes, sir. And that's a good question.
Mr. Johnson probably turned you off.
It's okay. It's on now. Very good question, and we would not be taking money from the county. For example, we also have Indianola Promise Community, and the residents are there, they use the clinics there, or they have the option of using Leland Medical Clinic. But we do not mandate that people have to use our clinic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's a good question.
So which clinic would they use? They could use a clinic here in Leflore County?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So that change could be amended. That could be amended in the contract.
The way these services, I have muted my phone, and I don't know why it's still ringing. My grandbaby is hitting me on rebound. The way it is, we have different services. For example, a program I oversee is called LINKS, and that's a case management program, a home visitation program. And we try to encourage a medical home where a person has a specific doctor that they see or a specific clinic they go to. We don't tell anybody you have to use a certain service. That's up to the person who they use. And I'm not sure if I'm answering your question
So
or not.
regardless, so are you saying regardless of whether or not we utilize Leland, if we even bring the services to Leflore County, Leland is still gonna get a portion of that money? Is that what you're saying?
Let me call Beth McCullough. Do you mind? And forgive me, I didn't know I was going to be coming in.
Thank you for coming, though.
Hi, Beth. I'm on the microphone and I'm in the school board meeting. They have a question. Can you say that question loud enough, Dr. Moore, that she can hear it?
In reference to Dr. Bailey's, question, regarding the Leland Medical Clinic, so can you, define how those services would be utilized? So with us being in Leflore County now, and I think the question from Dr. Bailey was, can we move those particular medical services to Leflore County instead of Leland, since this is the Leflore County seat?
Okay, do you hear the question? And I'm gonna put you on the speaker. What they're concerned about is funds going to Leland Medical Clinic versus staying in Leflore County. And I explained that participants can use whomever they want to use.
Those funds are specifically for Leland Medical Clinic to come into LaFleur. We have a mobile medical clinic, that big van, you've probably seen pictures of, that's gonna come into LaFleur and do child care services, initially at the early Head Start centers in LaFleur County, but it's also gonna be available at schools that can do, COVID vaccines in LaFleur County. All the services will be in LaFleur. It's not for people to go to Leland Medical Clinic and get care in Leland.
Okay, the question, Beth, is they're wanting to know if the services that Leland Medical Clinic is offering, if their clinics right here in Leflore County wants to do the same services, can they use the Leflore County services?
I would imagine that's a Karen Matthews question. That's not a me question. I don't imagine us having a problem with it, but that's above my pay grade.
Okay. I'll call Karen, but do y'all have any other questions for Beth before I hang up with Beth? She's the grant writer.
So basically what she's saying is Leland Medical will come into LaFleur County and provide their service.
On the mobile unit.
Okay, but, so are they, the same type entity as the health department?
Did you hear that, Beth?
No, I didn't.
Are they set up like the health department?
Are they like the health
Are
department?
they set up?
Are they set up like the health department?
The mobile clinic? I haven't been in there actually. I've just seen pictures of the outside. I know they have 2 bays with, it's like a big truck. And it's got, it's been doing, immunizations and stuff at the early Head Start centers and schools and stuff in Washington and Sunflower. I don't know exactly all of the technical capabilities of all the medical services that it can provide, but it is set up to be like a little clinic. It's got a little patient intake area where people can fill out forms, and then there's 2 bays where, there's an examining table and all that stuff. But again, exactly the list of full services they can provide, I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Information on it's on DHA's website. If you're in that meeting chair, Margaret, you can pull it up.
Okay.
Or they can just research it, or they can call the Leland Medical Clinic. But I know that they deploy that mobile medical center basically to places that wouldn't otherwise have access to care. Like trying to get vaccines into communities that have trouble accessing the vaccines. But again, specific medical, I'm not a medical clinician, so I can't tell you exactly what it is they do.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question, Dr. Moore?
It did.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm just gonna assume, board members, that regardless if they use the Leflore County, clinics or whatever, Leland is gonna be their medical people and they're gonna be getting paid. That's what I assume. Well, that's what it looks like to me. Does that answer your question, Dr. Moore?
What's that saying?
But
Okay.
I'm assuming that no matter what, Leland is gonna be their choice, but they can't
Okay.
stop people from going where they wanna go.
But, may I say something?
Mhm.
But I don't see it being an advantage because we don't have a mobile unit in this county.
No, Mallory has a mobile unit because they bring it to Valley.
I haven't seen it in,
But we don't know if we don't ask.
right.
So, I mean,
But
I'm sure.
I see it being an advantage.
Understood.
So, it would be different to me if we had one and we decided not to use ours in this county and go with theirs out of, Leland is Washington County. So, that's just my observation.
Greenwood, Leflore School Board meeting, and they have some questions, and Bev said they were Karen questions. Can I put you on the mic? Oh. Okay. Leland Medical Clinic. She's sick, but she's gonna try to answer y'all questions. It's about Leland Medical Clinic. Dr. Moore, you wanna pose your question again? I'm sorry.
It's okay. In reference to Dr. Bailey, one of our board members here, actually the vice president of the board, he alluded to the fact that Leland Medical Clinic will be receiving those funds, and we were wondering, and I also noticed that most of our businesses, well, areas in the, well, benefactors, there are 16 in all, and I noticed that 8 were in the county of Leflore, and 8 were out of the county of Leflore, of the benefactors that will be receiving benefits based on this Promise Community Grant. And I was, Dr. Bailey alluded to the fact that Leland Medical Clinic, we were unsure of how that particular procedure would move forward, but now we were just wondering if we could, since, well, now we know that there will be a medical clinic, mobile clinic. If we could get those services moved to Leflore County.
She wants to know if they could get some of the services that we have allocated for Leland Medical Clinic moved to Leflore County, seeing that they have several different health clinics here. Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker. Hello, Karen. Karen, hold on. Okay, you're on speaker and microphone.
Yes, certainly anybody that provide those services, we would be able to provide those services through whomever. And if we want to keep those services with physicians and nurses in Leflore County, we can certainly talk to them and contract out to whoever wanted the business. We'd have to, make sure we chose equitably. But yes, we could certainly do that.
Does that answer y'all's question?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. Hope you feel better.
Okay, thank you.
Let me see. She said, are there any other questions for her? Okay. They said thank you. Feel better. Okay. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay. I'm sorry I couldn't answer, but I can get you one. What?
The superintendent recommends school board approval of the memorandum of understanding with Delta Health Alliance, Promise Neighborhood Grant, and to authorize the superintendent to sign required grant documents.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with Delta Health Alliance, Promise Neighborhood Grant, and to authorize the superintendent to sign required grant documentation.
So moved.
Second. It's been motioned and second. All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been motioned and second. All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried.
Thank you all for letting me come in.